So welcome everyone to the second Startup TNT Summit finale here in British Columbia. It's fantastic to see an enthusiastic crowd here to support BC startups. And welcome to anyone tuning in from YouTube. I know there's people actually as far away as France watching this. So right tonight we have 5 excellent companies that are going to pitch to see who wins the summit and a potential investment of $150,000. So these companies and their CEOs and their teams have gone through extensive due diligence over the last 8 weeks, and we thank them for their cooperation and for their responsiveness. They've met meetings, they pitched publicly last month, and we've had a lot of discussions with the team, so it's been great. So before I go any further, I'd like to introduce my co-host for the night, Zach Storms, who is coming in from Edmonton.
Coming in hot from Edmonton.
So Zach is the co-founder of Startup TNT, and will be my co-host tonight. And also CK Dhaliwal. I don't know where you are, CK, but CK is the executive director. If you're in the room, you can stand up. If not, well, you can meet him afterwards.
He's shepherding more people inside still.
So anyway, Zach.
Yeah, anyways, I'm so excited to be here. I wasn't really joking. I have been waiting 6 years to do this. We started with a happy hour in Edmonton in May of 2019, and now we're doing my favorite activity, investing in local startups, on the greatest stage in Canadian innovation, Vancouver Startup Week. Thank you all.
Thank you. So I'm going to try and put this in the right direction this time. So before we go any farther, the land acknowledgement, we acknowledge the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples on whose traditional lands we gather tonight. So let's go. Before we go any further, I want to introduce you to somebody I've worked with, I've known for a long time, the co-founder and our host tonight at Vancouver Startup Week. Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Vivian and Katie.
Let's hear it for Vivian.
Vivian and Katie have founded and been running Vancouver Startup Weeks in 2014. It's become a mainstay of the Vancouver startup community and has assisted thousands of founders and assisted companies in building us. So you're welcome to say something.
I will say something. Hello and bonjour, France. Bilingual. I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. This is our kickoff event. We've already ran, I think, 15 events today. I'm really hyped up on coffee. This is our opening reception, our ecosystem showcase, and of course the Startup TNT finale. Again, thank you so much for being here. It's all about community and supporting each other and lifting each other up. That's why we are all here tonight. If you don't know about Startup Week, this is actually our 11th year. It's basic. Thanks. I didn't even pay you to do that. Man, I feel good. Yeah, it's basically kind of an unconference. It's really meant to get your butt out of your chairs, your homes, come out, enjoy the community, enjoy Vancouver, everything that it has to offer, make friends, make connections, help each other out, and just celebrate our successes. That's what Startup Week is about. Today was our first day out of 4 days. We have 3 more days. If you don't have your all access pass, I don't know why. The price goes down significantly tomorrow, just FYI. It does get you into every event for the week. I know you can't clone yourself, but if you could, great. We have about 45 or 50 events. I don't know what I did this year, but there's a lot of events. Check the schedule, come hang out. There's content, workshops, panels, networking events, you name it under the sun, and a big party at the end of the week. Please come, please join us. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm taking up a lot of time and there's really great pitches and Zach's going to kill me. So I'm going to go run the bar. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll see you out there. Enjoy. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Vivian. You know, this is, I think, really special to be able to doing TNT as part of your Startup Week. TNT stands for Thursday Night Tradition because we've been hosting a weekly meetup for 6 straight years with a simple philosophy: bring people together to have fun, make friends, and build companies. I actually launched TNT as a happy hour on my 35th birthday as a present to myself. Got buy-in from my wife. I said I want to do this every week for a year and see what happens. And here we are 6 years later, nearly $20 million raised for over 110 local startups. Nearly 500 investors have participated in Startup TNT all across Canada. And I wanted to just share a little bit of a background on our story in Alberta for you all, just to kind of give you a little more information about Startup TNT, the organization, and where we came from. Because sometimes people think of us as purely a pitch event or a happy hour meetup, but really we're here to activate angel investing. We're here to activate local dollars to invest in local pre-seed and C-stage startups. And in Alberta, we've had 350 Alberta angel investors, many of them investing for the very first time over the last 5 years, investing nearly $13 million into 73 Alberta companies. It's really quite impressive to see that. I'm really proud of that fact. But, you know, when you look around the room tonight, keep in mind that the capital is really just one piece of the puzzle. The founders need support from the network in the room. The capital is just one piece, and really it's all those connections that you make at events like this that move these companies forward. And one thing about TNT is we really specialize in syndicating small checks. Just in Alberta alone, we've syndicated over 1,600 unique angel investments. The median investment side is about $90,000, but the average winning deal is about $267,000 in Alberta. It took us some time to hit these stats, but keep in mind the typical investor is only writing a $5,000 check at a time. But our goal here is that many hands make light work. As a community, we support all of the founders. And here's a little example of what the companies look like. These are the winners from the last few years in Alberta. You know, what's interesting here is that it's not just software companies. We've got a large amount of B2B SaaS companies or marketplace companies or software companies, but we also have life sciences companies. We have clean tech companies. We have many companies that were pre-revenue at the time of investment. And I'm looking forward to adding some BC companies to our logo wall tonight.
Woohoo! So I want to thank all our great sponsors, partners, and community supporters. Startup TNT is a not-for-profit, and we couldn't operate with their support and their financial and their providing us with the support they do. Anyway, next page. You got the thing. So here's some of the supporters. So where are we in the process? I know some of you were at Pitch Night a month ago where the top 20 pitched. Since that time, we have gone and we've had meetings with our companies. We've gone through their virtual data rooms. We went and selected the top 5, and the top 5 are here tonight and will be pitching. And in that point, we've actually got deal terms with each of these companies, so it's ready to go for anybody, any of our Startup TNT investors to invest in. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, you know, I could like to add a couple of things. The investors commit $5,000 up front. They don't know who they're investing with. They don't know which company they're investing in. But they work together as a team. They come together over about 8 weeks. They put a lot of work into this. Each investor gets an equal vote in who moves forward in the process. And the final vote happens live tonight after the pitches. Another thing to keep in mind, 70 companies applied from the BC. You guys set a new record for applications, which was really impressive. And we actually had to modify how we did this because there were so many applications.
Almost as much as Calgary and Edmonton put together, so.
Yeah. Congratulations, BC.
Yeah. I thought I'd add that in, you know. Because Zach's here. So who's pitching tonight? Here are the companies that are pitching. We have 5 great companies. There's 2 companies in health tech, 1 in construction, 1 in legal, SaaS, and 1 in marine and transportation. So,
yeah, and you know what's cool? When I showed that logo wall of the Alberta companies we've invested in, they actually kind of match the profile of these companies. You've got some B2B software companies, but you've got hardware companies, you've got pre-revenue companies, you've even got sort of a health tech company or a medical device company.
And some of these companies are already generating revenue or have deals on the horizon. So it's not like they're early stage startup. They've got good teams. And so we're really proud to have them here to pitch with us tonight. So.
We're going to skip that.
So, what?
Sorry. No, we're not going to skip that. Sorry. Let's talk about, all right, this is the after party, but before we get to the after party, what's happening? We're going to do the sponsor shout out after the first couple of pitches. So let's go over how the program works tonight for the 5 pitches.
So it's 4-minute pitches. Timekeeper will single at 30 seconds, and then time is up. A co-host from one of our sponsors will come up and introduce the company. And then after the pitches, one of the investors, the investor coordinator, will come up and ask each of the CEOs or presenters a question on stage. We'll see. Well, that's really it. And so before we go to that, why don't you tell
and then
about
there will be a deliberation, a final deliberation after the pitches are done. Investors get one more final thought to finalize their votes, and then we'll announce the winner.
Yeah, so that'll be probably
BC
about
Summit 11.
8:15. So in between, you're welcome to go out and have a drink, socialize.
Yeah.
But we'll be announcing it live for the winner, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, we usually do our events on a Thursday, but to partner with Startup Week here, we did it on a Tuesday. It still starts with T, so that's good. And we have an after party at Brew Hall, which is right nearby. And we also have a special tradition at Startup TNT. Before we could raise money for startups, we did just raise money for the bar tab. That's one of the first things we did. That's how I met my co-founder, Tim. And so if you're interested in making this after party one that's really memorable, you can donate to the bar tab at cheers@startuptnt.com. We'll stop for a second and see if anybody makes a donation.
And that'll start around 9. That'll start around 9:15.
Yeah.
There's already money in the kitty, so
Yeah.
we already have money. So if you come out, probably first drinks on you.
I've made the first donation of $100 to get things going. Stay tuned.
But there's more, so that's great.
Foreshadowing.
So let's go. I think you're up. You're up, Zach.
Yeah, sorry, my clicker stopped working. But up first to introduce the first company, we have Manveer from Dentons, one of our sponsors. Come on up, Manveer.
Thank you. Thank you to Zach and the Startup TNT team. As mentioned, I'm Manveer Bisla, a partner at Dentons, the world's largest law firm with offices in 80-plus countries. Dentons is excited to be co-hosting tonight's event and listening to these amazing pitches. To the companies, our firm understands the challenges you face of taking an idea and evolving it into a mature and successful business. To learn more about how we can help throughout your life cycle, feel free to reach out to me and my colleague Danica. We'll be here tonight and as well at the after party. And now to introduce the first company, Matthew Hauser with SimuHealth.
Thank you. Thank you. Clicker? I'm so sorry, but I gotta do something first, which is me taking a selfie. All right, there we go. There we go. That was terrible. It's my only chance. Test, test. Podium or standing in the middle? I do like the Jerry Seinfeld thing. Middle. All right. Am I debugging this? Well, there's your problem. All right. Good evening, everyone. All right. Let's begin. $8 trillion. That's how much the world spends every year on healthcare. And do you know how much of that could be attributed to administrative waste? The answer is a staggering 15%, a full half of all administrative spending. SimuHealth is part of the solution, beginning with our foundational operating system and ERP for the $20 billion healthcare training industry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Hauser. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SimuHealth. And for the last 10 years plus, I've been running one of Vancouver's best-known software development agencies, Convergence. So what is healthcare simulation? Simply put, it is the technology-assisted training of all medical professionals, including doctors, nurses, and specialists. It is a cornerstone of the healthcare industry and spans the entire careers of healthcare professionals. This industry has long been overlooked on the operations side. There is simply no end-to-end software solution to manage their operations. So how are these programs currently being run? Well, they're being run with spreadsheets, emails, DIY tools, and a variety of manual processes. And this is true for even the very largest institutions from the East Coast to the West Coast in the US and in Canada. SimuHealth is part of SimuHealth streamlines every aspect of the day-to-day operations of these programs. We increase efficiency, we reduce the mismanagement of very costly resources, and we provide reporting and analytics that just aren't available today. There is a bit of competition, yes, but mostly in the form of single-purpose tools, many of those spun out of hospitals or colleges, and you can tell. SimuHealth was co-designed with our 4 enterprise initial clients and partners in public healthcare. We're not guessing, and we're not a solution looking for a problem. We've been adopted by BC's Provincial Health Services Authority and 3 of our 5 regional healthcare authorities. Collectively, our clients operate 47 hospitals and serve 3.6 million Canadians. We've also been acknowledged by Simulation Canada. Our team has built many commercially and financially successful products over the years in both the public and private sector, including in public healthcare. We have a very practiced team and operation. In the US and Canada alone, there are about 9,000 organizations that could benefit from our product on day one. This initial region and market represents a $1.5 billion TAM. Our go-to-market approach is twofold. We partner with national-level associations to become the de facto tool of choice for the industry, and we pair that with a sophisticated direct sales approach on the operations side, coming in as a net positive proposal, not a net added cost. In the brief period of time since coming out of stealth mode, our pipeline has exploded to 24 institutions in the US and Canada, including some very big names such as Stanford and Cedars-Sinai Hospital. We've already built a comprehensive platform that is ready for immediate commercialization. But the pull into the industry has created demand for additional innovations and technologies, which will expand our ACV and further our moat, deepen our moat. We're raising $1.5 million USD in our pre-seed round, $8 million post-money cap using a traditional Y Combinator safe. And some recent news, since I did the same pitch at the top 20 a month ago, we are now venture-backed. We've closed over $500,000 from New York, got the warning. And this week, we got the IRAP endorsement of funding, too. Woo! Woo! Thank you. That doesn't count towards my time. We're early stage, yes, but we've already generated 6 figures in revenue. We see a pretty straightforward path towards $5 million in ARR by 24 months, $1 million by 12. And we then do more fun things. We expand into larger and immediately adjacent markets in healthcare. We're creating a Canadian healthcare unicorn, and we're doing it right out of Vancouver. I welcome you all to join us in this journey on innovating healthcare. Thank you. Woo!
Well done. Good, strong start. It's always tough to go first. And here to ask questions, one of our investors, Murray Jameson. Murray, you got to come up on stage.
Hi,
Murray, you don't get to do it from down there. Come on up here. Take the microphone.
Matthew, how you doing?
I'm not nervous. You're nervous.
That was quick. You know, I like this company. You've with your previous company, 10 years with Convergence.
A bit over 10 years, yeah.
And I know you don't like to talk about the success of Convergence to mess it up with SimuHealth, but I think your track record there was fairly successful. Tell us about some of the deals you did there, some of the deliveries perhaps you did.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we had many years doing millions of dollars a year in mostly government work. We built stuff for the public sector, for the province, for the feds, for academia, and a lot of MVPs before COVID, which kind of collapsed the startup ecosystem. Most of our projects were funded MVPs that would spend $250,000, $500,000, even over $1 million on building their commercial products. Yeah.
Excellent. You know, one of the things I like about SimuHealth is that, you know, it does all this booking, asset management, ERP. What are some of the future modules that you could turn on to make this an even bigger product in the market?
Yeah, so one of the requests we're getting from US institutions, and the reason that IRAP is funding us, is a generative AI interface. So the technicians that set up the rooms at the hospitals, the training centers, they got 1 hour of setup work to set up all of this complex CapEx equipment. They want to be able to interact with SimuHealth to say, how do I set up this? What does this error message mean? Where does this cable go? That kind of stuff. So that's a pretty immediate innovation on the roadmap.
Perfect. Well, we'll leave it at that, and
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thank you so much, Murray. Thank you.
All right, nice strong start. I've got a double microphone here, Richard. I need some help. Okay, Richard, I have an update on the bar tab.
Okay,
You guys
well,
wanna
that's
hear
the
it?
most
Okay,
important
good.
thing
I get
to Zach,
notifications-
anyway.
I get notifications on my phone. This is important because we got to celebrate as a community after this. Guess who the first investor was? Matt York, one of our own investors. Let's hear it for Matt. Guess who else donated? Ian McKinnon coming in hot. Also another investor. And Thias. Where's Thias? Shout out to Thias. Donated to the bar tab. And our very own Q&A, Murray Jameson. Donated to the bar tab. All right, I'll do another update after. Let's keep it going here, Richard.
Okay, so now let me introduce Bhavik Chauhan from Bonsai Growth, one of our sponsors, to do the next introduction.
Thank you. For me. All right, Bonsai Growth. So we specialize in non-dilutive funding, so we leverage everything government. We're a startup, been around about 2 years, and we've deployed just over 85 million into the ecosystem to help young founders sort of grow their business without giving up equity. So I have the pleasure to introduce, I believe it's Open Water Solar. Do it come up? And it's Simon Angus, who I do know personally.
Thank you, Bhavik.
There's this one here to that.
Okay.
You can. Did you want the stand? Did you want the mic stand? No, I'll just put this down. Oh, yeah, good.
Thank you. So, my name's Simon Angus. I'm the CEO of Open Waters Solar, and we are changing the world of solar. There's been a big problem in the world of solar that not a lot of people know about, but it's not good for mobile applications. I know mobile can facilitate mobile electrification. It's one of the biggest issues we've got in the power grid right now. However, they're just too fragile. And I found this out when I designed and built a 40-foot carbon fiber catamaran. That's the boat right there. Actually, right there. And by the time we commissioned the boat down in Florida, it was built in Prince George, the mecca of boat building. And during the commissioning process, we actually realized we'd broke all the panels during the build. And they were just that fragile. We also realized there was two other problems as well, real estate utilization and shading. So being an engineer, I fixed that problem. And we designed this. That black thing is a solar panel. This black thing here is also a solar panel. And it's the only solar panel that you can do that with, and it doesn't break. And that's the whole point of this. All my solar panels broke, this doesn't. It's a fiberglass encapsulated solar panel that looks amazing. It's stronger, lighter, and more durable than anything else ever built. We've already done $425,000 in revenue so far on about 30 yachts. We've got a contract to do about 3 kilowatts on SV Delos. That's a million subscribers on YouTube. We've got a contract to do an 80-foot aluminum catamaran, which a helicopter lands on the solar panels on 24 kilowatts of solar. We've got multiple USV, which is the rage right now, and OEM boat builder contracts. And every single one of the 18 service partners that we've been to has signed up as a dealer because they're like, this is needed in our industry. I haven't done this alone. 3 of my team are right here. Mind-blowingly amazed to have this team. This team has not only developed this product. This is a very unique product that's ours. We've also developed an amazing manufacturing process that's highly automated, which allows us to build these panels in northern BC. That combined with the AI interface that Roger's designing right there, we'll talk to him later, and that basically allows yacht owners to build custom panels as standard. So they can put it right into our system, right into the manufacturing system. The marine market is our beachhead. That's where we're at. The reason why we're there, it's high margins and high demand. The demand is off the chart. However, as we grow and develop our manufacturing capacity, we will have spare manufacturing capacity. So we're going to focus that into the transportation sector, where we can put 24 kilowatts of solar on a 53-foot refrigerated trailer, completely eliminating the need of 20,000 liters of diesel fuel per year per trailer. Thank you. That's a good one. But we add a bigger value proposition. It's not just the fact it's a really cool solar panel. For the yachting industry, we eliminate noise and emissions. For the transportation sector, we give a great ROI. And one day, we'll fly. So right now, we're building a pilot plant. Next, we'll build the production plant. And in 2028, we're looking for a big exit. So right now, we're 70% through a $3.6 million, $3.3 million raise, of which 70% is already secured. We have IRAP funding, we have multiple loans, and we have lots of really cool investors. One of my investors is a company, is a customer. Thank you, and have a great night.
Well, thanks a lot, Simon. Great presentation. I'd like to introduce Theas Matat, who's going to come, who's an investor, and is going to come and ask Simon some questions. So,
thank you. Hello, Simon.
Hey, Theas.
I saw that trick with the solar panel end of last year for the first time. I've been asking you questions since. So we know your solar panel's been flying off the shelf. You couldn't produce enough to sell them, but that's going to change with your pilot plant. So you're going to have a new problem, which is sell enough solar panels, as many as you can produce. Can you talk a bit more about how you're actually going to sell that many? And I know things are moving fast. What are some of the latest big developments in that area, in your sales and pipeline?
Yeah, so Tony's in the front, third row there. He hasn't had his leash cut yet. He's our marketing guy, and he's like, can I sell more? I'm like, no, quit it. Quit selling panels. I can't keep up. Because everyone he goes to wants them. And that's what blows my mind, is that literally we have 100% turnover on people saying, I want this stuff. And that's the biggest difference. So one of the customers that we have, Ocean Performance Technologies over in BC, in Sydney, he stopped doing solar completely because he had far too many warranty issues. And now he's our biggest customer. He's on 6 boats.
So how are you going to sell more once you have the production capacity?
So sell more. So we already have, so everybody who knows anything about boats knows about Victron. And Victron is the go-to batteries, lithium batteries. They have a distributor list. Tony's going through that list, and he's hitting them locally, and every single one. There's 1,500 distributors on that list that they already sell solar controllers to, MPPTs through. Every one of those customers is our customer.
Nice.
And so far, we have a 100% success rate in getting them to build our panels, or use our panels.
Fantastic.
thanks, both of you.
All right, and now for a short commercial break. Osler. Osler is the #1 law firm in Canada for M&A deals, by both volume and deal value. These guys know term sheets. BDC. BDC is the entrepreneur's bank. They finance entrepreneurs when many others won't. So if you think credit might be right for you, let us introduce you to the BDC team. And now we'd like to invite Rob up from LFG to talk about LFG and introduce our next presenter.
My intro won't be that much fun. Yeah, Rob from LFG. We're an accounting and shred advisory firm based in Yaletown. We've been around since 2010. We're small and agile. We work with mainly startups. We want to work with more startups. But we're more than just an accounting company. We see ourselves as a finance department for you before you need a full-time finance department. We do fractional CFO, bookkeeping, payroll, fractional controllership, and anything else you need to, finance up. Yeah, so that's us. And I'd like to introduce Tiffany Scarlett from Caseway to come up.
Thank you. Is this mine? Awesome. This button. Woo, adrenaline. Okay. Hi. that time when law was really hard, even when you had a lawyer. Oh, it's right in my eye. This is Kevin, a former amputee patient of mine. He didn't have enough money to afford a big legal team, so he didn't have enough settlement funds to fund a whole rehabilitation program, let alone a proper quality of life. I'm Tiffany. 10 years ago, I was rehabilitating amputee patients, and then I became a senior investigator for the Ministry of Labor, and I've built and sold businesses of my own. Today, I am the COO and co-founder of Caseway, and our mission is to make law more accessible by making law easier. One thing that I've seen is that the barriers to justice that story is very emotional for me, tears lives apart. So these barriers to justice cause 70% of the North Americans and UK people to be self-representatives, and that means it's often unsuccessful. So we at Caseway came up with a 3-act solution. The first one is an AI that is trained only on court decisions, which will reduce legal research, review, analyses down from hours to minutes. The second one is a bespoke agent that is trained on thousands of your law firms or organizations' former documents, and it will generate your new ones in seconds in the same formats, legal structure, language. The third one we've actually already had a head start to, which the Canadian government gave us a $750,000 annual grant to build a first true legal LLM. That means that it will not hallucinate, and that yes, and that it will answer nuanced and sensitive questions like sex, race, religion that general AIs won't right now. We've had many milestones, so I'll just share the top 3 exciting recent ones, which is a market expansion, starting with court form fillers in California with a strategic partnership. We've got a central legal source that we are building for the states, because guess what? They don't have one despite having 3,401 jurisdictions, which means it will also bring in 20 million in traffic website to Caseway. Talk about a huge top of sales funnel. Tonight specifically, we are really excited about a partnership with Daily Journal, which is a publicly traded fund company started by Charlie Munger that our CEO, Alistair, is currently working on finalizing. Our opportunities, as you can see, is really big. In the States, law firms, 40% of them don't even use generic AI. But our strategic market fit is not only for law firms. We've got governments, universities, businesses, real estate brokers, and insurance brokers that are really excited about our applications that have been already asking for partnerships. To date, since the launch of September 2024, we've raised $850,000 USD, and we are looking to raise another $1 million. Our strategic allocation will be for B2B sales and partnerships, and expanding and scaling our proprietary products. We at Caseway, we are making justice accessible by making law easier, and you are invited to be a part of our mission with a pretty nice ROI. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Tiffany. I think that might be a TNT first. The fire extinguisher fell off. It was so excited about your pitch. Okay, Chang is here, well-known member of the local community, to ask a couple of questions, and one of our investors.
Thank you, Zach. Chang Han, Innovation UBC, Tiffany Scarlett. Amazing presentation. So we've been tantalized by the updates with the Daily Journal.
Yes.
What more details can you share about the most recent updates? What's been committed, and what are the numbers we're talking about here?
That's a great question. We are so excited about that. And Alistair, if you're watching, I'm very excited to talk to you after. Because they are a publicly traded company, I have to be careful with what I share. The terms of our YC safe is 20% ROI.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Follow-up question.
Yes, please.
Much easier.
Yes.
So One thing that we would love to see you guys do is avoid all the hallucinations. And you may
Yes.
have seen some crazy hallucinations in the news. What's the craziest hallucination in the legal world that you will now allow us to avoid?
That we will now avoid?
Allow us to
Allow
avoid,
you to
yes.
avoid. I mean, there's so many crazy ones. Just the other day, I saw somebody was researching his own name, and then he found his own criminal ruling, but he's never even committed that crime, nor did the jail time. So with our private legal LLM, I do believe that we will be able to eliminate some of those really major hallucinations, and then just with our proprietary LLM, as we start to scale that and refine that, those major ones, you know, we won't be seeing answers from my brother's Reddit blog, right? Or anybody else's Reddit blog. So those are the things that we are aiming to do right now, thanks to starting with the Canadian government, because those are also barriers to justice for us.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for bearing with me.
Thanks, Jane. So now we're going to the fourth company.
Wait, I think we have to give an update on the bar tab, though, don't we?
What's more important? Zach.
Well, you know, there's a lot of important things in life. It's hard to balance them all. But we just got 4 more donations, and get this. We have raised $1,000 for the bar tab right here in this room. This is how it works. So thank you, Karen Ramchandani, B&G Strategy Consulting. Shui Zhao and Francis Bernard Silva. If you would like to contribute, we still need more. We're going to be a big group at the bar. You can donate to an e-transfer at cheers@startuptnt.com.
And I have to admit, I was skeptical, but yeah.
Richard said that we couldn't do it. $1,000 right here. You got to be here to
I
believe
was a
it.
skeptic, yeah. I admit it. But yeah, you guys have come through. So let me move to the next company, and let me introduce Jason Yen from RBCX, who's going to introduce our next company.
I don't have a deep commercial voice, but I'll try my best here. So RBCX is the innovation banking arm of RBC. We help early stage founders with their banking and getting matched with the right investor. So sounds like you. Talk to me after. My pleasure to welcome Dr. Harvey Haas, the founder, chief medical officer of Building Block Systems.
Check. Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Good. I'm Harvey. Let's see if this works. I'm from Building Block. So I am a humanitarian surgeon and a war surgeon. And one of the biggest challenges that I face, and lots of my colleagues face around the world, is getting medical supplies to patients in need. And this is really hard to do in combat zones. You can't call Alibaba. And it's really hard to do in disaster zones and in remote Canada North as well. If you don't get the supplies needed to the patients that need them, then they either have to be transported, or in my branch of surgery, which is war surgery, they often just unfortunately pass away. So this is a big problem. I started to ask myself the question, can we move medical device manufacturing to the point of care and enable medical supply chain independence? And when I thought about it long enough, that's when I came up with Building Block. So what is Building Block? So Building Block consists of highly ruggedized, really heavily engineered containers that are good from -50 to +50. They're EMR shielded so drones can't find them. There's lots of engineering in that. We fill them with the best advanced digital additive and subtractive manufacturing technologies, a lot of 3D printers and other things. We back it with a digital catalog of thousands of parts, and we put an intelligent supply chain management system behind it. We can print in medical grade thermoplastics, we can print in medical grade steels, we can do silicone, and we can do class 1 and 2 medical devices, which is the vast majority of the consumables and devices used. And we can make things like that surgical kit right there. We can also repair in the field, and we can print repair parts. So imagine you're the Canadian Forces and you're facing an adversary, maybe that big country over there. You could deploy lots of our agile, I'm not going to say which one, our agile units that are at the front lines, and you can move them around where needed, and if things change, you can change. But you could put our bigger factories back in safer countries, or to secure supply chain back in Canada, because you don't want to compete with Canadian domestic supply chain. You could even put them in northern Canada. Or if you're an NGO and you want to build social entrepreneur skills and build the next generation of manufacturing in East Africa, you could do that too. And we signed an agreement to do that. So we know our competitors well. There's nobody, in short, that's doing what we do. This medical device manufacturing, full stack, medical supply chain independence, and deployable containers. We have lots of early traction. So we have an LOI on the table with the Ukraine government. They actually flew out to see us in February of this year. We could offer them tripling their prosthetics manufacturing for their entire country. They need 100,000 of them. We can help with that. But we can also shorten their wait time from 9 months to 2 days. And then we're also hoping to deploy several factories across Canada North and in Europe as well with NATO allies. We were started in 2023 by a Canadian Forces grant. We won that. We spun the company just about January of 2025. We're just about to close our SAFE round. We're holding it open for this event, but it won't last long. And then we're switching to our $5 million seed round because we've just secured our first $1.5 million in revenue. We have a strong revenue model. We have CapEx, microfactories, initial deployment, and training. But most of our revenue comes from recurring sources. We supply the raw materials. We do the licensing of the devices, service support, and maintenance. And by 2028, we hope to have 28 units deployed for revenues in the hundreds of millions of dollars. We have an experienced team. I like to joke that the least experienced person in the room has 15 years of experience in the industry, and 2 of them have exited already very large. But we're ready to do this. We have a global AI advisor for GE as well, who just signed on with us. So we understand this well. So if you're ready to join us for a Made in Canada solution to get medical devices to all corners of the globe, we'll be happy to talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Harvey. I'd like to introduce now Ian McKinnon, who'll come up, one of our investors and 2-time investors, actually, and is going to ask some questions.
So 3D printing had a hot minute like 10 years ago. And the only other time I've heard it in relation to medical technology and medical outcomes is when there was this guy who had a problem with his health insurance and he 3D printed a ghost gun to deal with it that way.
I did hear about that,
in terms of like improving health outcomes, how can 3D printing, has it come far enough that we can make quality materials for doing what you do?
Yeah, in the last 3 to 4 years, medical device 3D printing has really changed a lot. It's now production ready. We're not doing prototyping, where this is not sitting on the desk in the basement of a biomedical engineering department. These are production ready, production capable devices. They're networked together. They can do high capacity output. We're not just putting 1 or 2 printers in the field, we're putting hundreds or thousands of printers in the field. So we can do high grade, high production value.
If I'm one of your customers and you're giving me a unit to deploy, what does success look like in terms of if you did have, you know, say a trial client or one of these were going, what does success look like for one of these units that I'm purchasing and shipping off to the front?
Yeah, so the first thing is none of our customers will buy a single unit. They'll buy a system of units because it makes sense to get total supply chain independence. But in a validation event, what really looks good for them is how we integrate with their workflows. If they need something and they activate our system and we supply it within 24 hours, that's a success. The alternative is they wait 3 months to get something in, if they can get it in at all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. We've gotten through 4 pitches already. It's been a great crowd. I really enjoyed it here. Only one person's fallen asleep, so we're going to keep this going. All right, we have to take a commercial break. Excuse me. The UFC Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurship is a dynamic community center dedicated to fostering student entrepreneurship, empowering faculty innovation, and building a network of entrepreneurial minds. Some of their students support our due diligence process as volunteers. And Deloitte, making an impact that matters. Deloitte provide audit, assurance, consulting, tax, and related services. But really, they help their clients realize their ambitions, and you can submit an RFP directly on their website. Thank you, Deloitte. And we are now here for the last and final pitch of the night. Pierce from MNP, one of our longtime sponsors, is going to introduce the final presenter. Go ahead, Pierce.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach. Is this working? So my name is Pierce Johnson. I'm a partner with MNP's private enterprise here in Vancouver. I work with startups and tech companies kind of all the way through their life. You know, MNP is one of Canada's nationally focused firms. We're coast to coast, but we're regionally led, so that means that we're, you know, agile enough to help you guys from that very early phase in your company's life. And when that hockey stick growth comes along, and we all know it's going to happen, we're prepared to bring in the right tools and resources to help you scale up and scale out eventually. you know, the goal of our team really is to help you by taking all the, let's call it fun stuff, the finance, the tax, the compliance off your plate and let you focus on growing your business. I'm not going to say much more. Last but not least, our pitch for the night is Patrick McConnell with Atlantis Fiber.
All right, well, last but hopefully not least, great to be here tonight, folks. My name is Patrick McConnell. I'm the founder and CEO of Atlantis Fiber. We're a hard tech materials company based here out of Vancouver, and we specialize in transforming really hard to recycle waste products into high-end, high-use, high-performance platform technologies for the built environment. So the primary market we're focusing on is the massive tire recycling industry. Every year in North America alone, there's over 400 million tires that are recycled, and it's growing at about 11% year over year. So to kind of put that into scope, if you were to put each tire end to end, that would circle the globe 20 times. That's how many tires 400 million tires is. Compounding that, really the best use for this particular product is being burnt in cement kilns, which is really not a very good alternative, at least we think in Atlantis. And so to improve upon that, we have converted this particular material into a very effective retrofit material. On the flip side of this coin, aging infrastructure is really a big issue throughout North America and the world. Primarily, as you can see here with this most recent earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand, where so much devastation was wrought amongst these poor folks. Now, 7.7 is a really massive earthquake on any standard, of course, but the structural engineer's biggest concern was the utter collapse of so many of these particular structures. And I hate to say it, what's really scary is that up to 80% of buildings throughout the world are made of very similar unreinforced masonry, so it really is a huge issue. What if there was a solution that married high performance and sustainability in one? This is NexGuard. Pictured on the left is a 1/2 inch application of our product. This is a 9.1 Fukushima earthquake that modeled the Japan tragedy of 2011 when so much damage is actually done. It really acts like a rubberized steel, protecting the understructure with its highly flexible and ductile coating. So in addition to its high performance, it boasts a lot of additional features, such as being 5 times cheaper, 6 times faster, and twice as durable as our next competition. It's highly carbon neutral, patent pending in 30 countries, and we've chosen a toll manufacturing business model to keep typical CapEx down. A lot of startup companies have a lot of initial capital expenditures. We're focusing on early revenue and high profits with 80% margins. A really good case study here is a beachhead customer of ours in Utah. Again, 5 times cheaper, 6 times faster, but the really important line is the bottom line with the probable maximum loss. We can save insurance companies and insurers up to 20 to 30% on their probable maximum loss. So if you take a $50 million building, we can save about $12 million of insurance over the life of that particular asset. So insurance companies and owners alike are quite interested in this particular product. The globe we see, the market we see, I should say rather, is $50 billion within North America. We're focusing on our beachhead customers in the Pacific Northwest, California, and Utah, where we see about a $50 million revenue opportunity at the end of year 5. Importantly, though, you can see the ring of fire here on the map, which really does point to the scale of the opportunity, especially when tied into the tragedies that we've seen recently in high earthquake zones. So a go-to-market model for us right now, we have really strong industrial partners in Liberty Tire Recycling, Miyamoto International Engineers that are specialists in validating our particular products, and we have a partnership with Lafarge, who's going to be using the end products that we produce. Pipeline currently is $15 million over the next year and a half. We have about 5, close to 6 and committed to this stage, with an additional 4 to close within 18 months. Lastly, we're looking for $1.5 million today on a $10 million valuation. Really importantly, folks, 50% of these funds are going to go to converting existing pipeline into revenue projects. We see a $1.5 million within the first 6 months. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, don't go anywhere. Last question period will be hosted by Matt York. Come on up, Matt.
Thank you so much, Zach and Pat. Great presentation. Thank you
Thanks,
for
sir.
being here.
Yep, of course.
It's clear to me there's a lot of momentum in the business right now.
There is.
Can you talk a little bit more in depth about the pipeline and the opportunities you're seeing right in front of you?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, this is I don't know if you clicked on that on purpose or not, but this is additional application. We just did a large pilot project with the city of Surrey and Lafarge. And to the second part of the pipeline that is not committed, but in the pipe coming up within the next year or so, we're working with them on multiple road applications to, in addition to the actual seismic benefits that I touched upon. It's too hard to cover too many things in a sort of a short presentation like this. But initially, the beachhead customers we do have in Utah is a large engineering firm, one of the largest construction companies in the 11-state surrounding region. They're really happy to push forward for us. We're developing 3 projects right now that will break ground within the first 2 months. We're looking at about 1.5 in realized income by the end of Q3, with the pipeline of about 5 by the end of year 1.
Fantastic. That's super exciting. One last quick one. I did bring my bike helmet. I biked here. Did you bring the concrete panel for a live demo? No. No.
I think smashing that against my head wouldn't be as good as a solar panel. I got a feeling.
All
but,
right. Well, thanks, Pat. Great job and exciting company you got. So all
yeah,
the best.
thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Matt. That wraps up 5 pitches. Let's hear it for him. Now, just so everybody knows what's happening next, as a reminder, investors need about 45 minutes to deliberate. Investors, we're going to exit the theater, go down the stairs. We'll convene down the stairs. We have a room tucked away all by ourselves to have an intense deliberation period. We'll reconvene here to announce the winner. Meanwhile, I think we need to make a couple of thank yous, don't we?
So yeah, I'd like to first of all thank all our volunteers who put in time to help us and move you all into the venue. Also like to thank our investors for coming on board, and look forward to having you for the next summit here in BC. And thanks to our sponsors, which I think we've thanked you already, but here it is anyway. So anything else we have here?
Well, we did get 2 more donations to the bar tab.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Joanne Jackson and Pierce Johnston. Let's hear it for them. Bar tab continues. All right, people can mix and mingle. We got about 45 minutes. Investors, we got to go downstairs and chat.
Okay. And here's our
sponsors
and supporters.
Our sponsors and supporters
Yeah.
got involved,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
helped introduce the companies,
And then,
and the crowd got involved in the after party. We're just
Why-
clicking through this so fast.
why are
What's
we
going on?
doing this?
Caseway, Building Block, Atlantis.
What are we doing here?
All right. I think they're ready for the announcement.
Okay. So.
Yeah, maybe, okay. Maybe go to a screen that looks like generic.
Okay.
Let's go to a generic screen.
Generic screen, please. What are you doing?
You gotta go backwards.
I'm going backwards.
You-
All right.
I would recommend backwards.
Okay, now, I don't know what's going on here. And the
All right, we can leave it here at the after party. Sure.
And the winner is
Building
Block Systems.
Building Block Systems. Now come on up here, Building Block. The winner gets a very special prize from Startup TNT. It's one of these A's that you see. It's our logo. You can put it up in your office. And congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you for doing this. It's super important to me. I've seen enough patients die from this, and now we can get moving. So, thank you. This is really cool. And thank you to TNT. This environment and this networking and this energy, well done.
Yeah, quick group photo. We also have champagne.
Excellent. Yeah, come on, go on.
Ian, get up here. For those that don't know, Ian committed to doing a deal on this before the finale. That's the TNT spirit right there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, don't leave the stage. We also have champagne to open. Okay. And as Richard's getting the champagne, we have a tradition at TNT, which is we don't stop. It's not a pitch competition. It's investing in great deals.
And so during the deliberation, we were chatting about what other deals we can do, and we're talking about a few of them, but there's one that we're definitely committed to doing, and that is SimuHealth. SimuHealth, welcome. Come on up on stage. We're doing the SimuHealth deal. Side deals are winners, too. Don't forget that. Thanks so much. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, everyone. Wow, empty crowd here. Yeah. Honestly, it was really tough. Like, healthcare versus, solar panels. It's like, well, yeah, you're the worst counterexample. But like, it's tough. Apples to oranges. So like, they're all solid. I lost my confidence at the end because like, oh, they're all great. So like, congratulations. Yeah, and thank you, everyone.